You think you've seen every twist in the North London derby? Think again, because on the night of November 23rd, the Emirates witnessed a performance so surreal that if you retold it to someone who didn't watch live, they might think you were writing fiction. Eberechi Eze, the summer signing who almost joined Tottenham, scored the first hat-trick of his career in his first ever derby, igniting Arsenal and forcing the entire Premier League to take notice. Eze takes over, and Tottenham can only watch. Arsenal kicked off with pace and purpose, overwhelmed Spurs early. Just 3 minutes in, Eze threaded a sublime through ball to Declan Rice, forcing Vicario into a desperate save. The minutes that followed were a barrage. Merino firing from distance, Saka slicing through defenders, Spurs' backline stuck in a perpetual state of emergency. In the 36th minute, the breakthrough came exactly the way Arsenal had been playing, fluid, coherent, fast. Merino drew defenders in before slipping the ball to Trossard, who spun and finished clinically, a sequence straight out of Arteta's half-pitch transition drills. Vicario had no chance. 5 minutes later, Eze began his solo show. Receiving the ball dead center in the box, he shook off 2 defenders with his trademark hip feint and drilled in a fierce right-footed strike. A goal soaked in Eze's street football flair, the very reason Arteta pushed so hard to bring him to the Emirates. 4 minutes into the second half, Eze punished Spurs again with a low, precise finish after a neat setup from Timber. Arsenal made it 3-0 with the exact pattern Tottenham couldn't cope with: right side overload, draw defenders in, reverse to the edge of the box. Richarlison sparked a flicker of hope with a bold long-range strike to make it 1-3. But it was like switching on a tiny flashlight in a room already drowned in Eze's fireworks. In the 76th minute, Trossard fed him through and Eze completed a hat-trick for the ages. Hat-trick number 300 in Premier League history, and Eze stamped that milestone in unforgettable fashion. Tactics: Arteta wins with a system, Spurs lose because they ran out of ideas. Tottenham entered the match unbeaten away from home, but they didn't bring their usual identity. The pressing was half-hearted, the defensive shape stretched, and midfield gaps aplenty allowed Arsenal to operate freely. Arsenal, despite missing Gabriel, Odegaard, Havertz, and Gyökeres, ran smoothly. Why? 1. Total dominance in central midfield. Merino, Rice, Eze formed a rotating triangle that completely smothered Spurs' midfield. Tottenham produced just 3 shots with 0.07 xG, numbers that scream, we have no idea how to build play. 2. Eze's fluidity. He operated like an 8/10 hybrid, dropping deep to pull markers, bursting into the box during wide overloads, swapping zones with Saka to stretch the defensive block. His mobility turned Spurs into a team consistently 1 step late. 3. A near-perfect defensive structure. Hincapié filling in for Gabriel, played like a seasoned Arsenal veteran. Ayling and Timber covered expertly, leaving Son and the Spurs attack isolated and frustrated. Are Arsenal truly title contenders? This win isn't just about North London bragging rights. It's a message to the entire league. Arsenal are far more mature than last season. They're strong as a system. They have real depth. They handle injury crises calmly. And now they have Eze, the unpredictability they lacked last year. Arsenal lead Chelsea by 6 points, and Man City by 7 after 12 matches. And the Premier League has never seen a team leading by 6 at this stage fail to win the title. Arteta knows the season is long. But anyone who watched this derby can see, Arsenal are playing with the confidence of a rightful leader. Tottenham, meanwhile, muddled ideas, fading energy, and leaving the Emirates with more questions than answers. This edition of the North London derby ends with a simple truth. If Eze keeps playing like this, Arsenal won't just frighten every opponent, and Spurs might even decide not to chase him again next summer, just to spare themselves the heartbreak.